to the session on abnormal psychology, Module 2, Session 13. A quick recap: we discussed about assumptions of behavior psychology in the previous session. In this session, we will understand extinction, generalization, discrimination, and shaping, which are parts of operant conditioning. Generalization, discrimination, extinction, and shaping. We will discuss about each one of the concept one after the other. Generalization: the learned ability to respond in similar ways to similar stimuli. For example, a child who is scared by a man with a beard may fail to discriminate between bearded men and generalize that all men with beards are to be feared. Generalization can be conditioned or unconditioned response. When you teach a child a skill such as reading or adding, you want that skill to be carried over into other settings beside the classroom. The student must be trained to generalize these responses so that they can use it in real life effectively. Discrimination: when individuals notice the unique aspects of seemingly similar situations and respond differently to them. For example, let's say you were bitten by a dog when you were a young child. As a result, you tense up and feel nervous every time you see a dog. The dog is a stimulus, which triggers a specific reaction, that is fear in this case. However, you do not have the same reaction to cats. This means that you discriminate in your reactions to two different animals. It is possible to condition the discrimination response to accomplish certain goals. For example, if you can train a dog to perform specific commands like jump, sit, lie down by giving him a treat every time he responds to the command correctly, in doing so, you reinforce a specific response to specific stimuli. If the dog is well trained, he will not jump when you tell him to sit. He can discriminate among the different types of commands. This is an example of classical conditioning. The dog's response to your commands is a conditioned response. We will now move on to extinction. It is the process through which a conditioned stimulus gradually loses the ability to evoke conditioned responses when it is no longer followed by the unconditioned stimulus. For example, imagine that you taught your dog to shake hands. Over time, the trick became less interesting. You stop rewarding the behavior and eventually stop asking your dog to shake. Eventually, the response becomes extinct and your dog no longer displays the behavior. The last concept here is shaping. It is a technique in which closer and closer approximations to desired behavior are required for the delivery of positive reinforcement. Reinforcing successive approximations to the terminal final behavior and ignoring non-appropriate approximate behaviors. For example, for many people, that goal is public speaking. Maybe the idea of getting up in front of 100 people to give a speech is scary. So you set up a series of approximate behaviors that will maybe help you become more comfortable and even excited about speaking in front of 100 people. At first, you just present to one person. You reinforce that behavior with an ice cream bar or a face mask. After a while, you start to bring in 10 people. Moving forward up this ladder, you only reward yourself with that same reinforcement once you have spoken in front of 10 people, so on and so forth, until the once impossible target behavior is something that you are ready to take on. And in this case, getting up in front of 100 people to give a speech. Summarizing the session, we discussed generalization, which is useful that facilitates the transfer of behavior across similar situations. Discrimination is useful when a particular response is not appropriate in similar situations. Shaping involves reinforcing successive approximations of a desired behavior, and we also discussed extension. Here are some references to further explore the concepts. Thank you.